A fluke of nature. A new grapefruit discovery may change your concept of fruit. I'm a farmer, and the story I tell you is the absolute truth, as incredible as it may seem. It all started in a grove owned by Dr. Webb, our family doctor. One of the men who was picking fruit in the doctor's orchard came up to the Webb house holding 6 of the strangest grapefruit anyone had ever seen. A single branch of an ordinary grapefruit tree had produced these 6 unusual fruit. These were big grapefruit, unusually big, and they had a faint red blush on their skin. When Dr. Webb sliced open the grapefruit, the fruit was a brilliant ruby red in color. Dr. Webb decided to taste this strange new grapefruit. The fruit was perfect, juicy and luscious. It wasn't sour like other grapefruit either. It was naturally sweet without sugar. For some reason, we'll never know why, nature had chosen to produce an entirely new kind of grapefruit here in our magic Rio Grande Valley. It was incredible. Men had labored for years to produce the ideal grapefruit and had failed. But suddenly, on a single branch of one tree in one grove, Mother Nature had done it all herself. You can imagine the excitement from the fruit on that one branch. Grove after grove now produces our own Texas ruby red grapefruit. When I say not one man in 1,000 has ever tasted this grapefruit, you can easily understand why. To begin with, ruby reds are rare. You can look for them in stores, but I doubt if you'll find one. You may find pink grapefruit, but seldom, if ever, do you see the genuine ruby reds. So you start with the rarity of ruby reds, and to get to royal ruby reds, you have to get rarer yet. Only 4 to 5% of the entire crop will qualify as a royal ruby red. Each royal ruby red weighs a pound or more. Each has a rich red color, flowing juices, luscious, naturally sweet flavor, and the ability to stay this way for many weeks. Why? We won't even consider harvesting a grove until I've checked out the fruit for tree ripened maturity myself. I check for natural sugar, low acid balance and high juice content. I check to see that the fruit is plump and meaty, and I even check to see that the skin is thin. Not only does each factor have to check out, but all the factors have to be in a proper relationship to each other before I'll harvest a grove. And when we pick the fruit, we're just as fussy. Every one of us takes a picking ring when we harvest. In the fruit is a small enough to pass through this ring. If the fruit is small enough to pass through this ring, we don't pick it. It simply isn't big enough to qualify as a royal ruby red. Even after picking, there are other careful inspections each fruit must pass before I'll accept it. I size the fruit and I grade it for beauty. Sometimes the fruit will be wind scared. I won't accept it. Or sometimes it will have a bulge on the stem and that we call sheep nose. I won't accept it. You can see I really mean it when I say I accept only perfect royal ruby reds. When I realized that the royal ruby reds were the ultimate fruit, I decided to form a club and sell only to my club members. In this manner, I can control my production to ensure that nobody will be disappointed. But before I ask you to join my club, I want you to sample my royal ruby reds for yourself at no cost to you whatsoever. Let me send you a box prepared of 16 to 20 royal ruby reds. Place 4 of them in your refrigerator until they are thoroughly cooled. Then cut them in half and have your family sample this unusual fruit. You decide whether or not Royal Ruby Reds are everything I say. You determine whether or not eating a Royal Ruby Red is a fantastic taste experience, I promise. You decide. I'm confident that you and your family will want more of this superb fruit, and on a regular basis too. If the 4 Royal Ruby Reds make you say yes, then keep the remaining fruit. Otherwise, return the unusual fruit at my expense, and you won't owe me a single penny. But you are never going to know just how wonderful genuine Royal Ruby Reds are unless you place your order right quick. This way you are sure to receive your package containing 16 of 20 Royal Ruby Reds for you and your family to sample a few days before Christmas. But since the supply is strictly limited, it's important to place your order now. Send no money now. I'll put the bill for $10.95 for this first shipment on the top of the box. That's a saving of $5 off the regular price of $15.95. All delivery charges are prepaid by me. Remit only after my Ruby Reds have proved themselves, otherwise you don't owe a thing. Now, suppose you do like Royal Ruby Reds. Suppose you love them. Can you be sure of getting more? You surely can. By saying yes to my first shipment, you have the privilege of automatically joining my Winter Fruit Club. Please be assured you pay nothing in advance. But each month during the winter, I'll ship you a $15.95 pack of 16 to 20 orchard fresh, hand-selected, hand-picked Royal Ruby Reds. Every Royal Ruby Red you receive will pass my tough tests. Each will weigh a pound or more. Safe delivery is guaranteed. This fruit is picked, packed, and shipped each month, December through April. You pay only after you have received each shipment, and you may skip or cancel any shipment simply by telling me your wishes. Here's how to order. Call my toll-free number below or send your name and address to me at the address below. Remember, it obligates you to nothing except making a taste test of the best grapefruit that has ever been grown. And this taste test is on me. Of course, as you can well imagine, when I say supplies are limited, I'm not kidding. There's just so many club members I can accept before I must close my membership this year. So to taste this miracle grapefruit and have the opportunity to savor it each month during the growing season, be sure to place your order at no obligation today. Call toll-free 800-531-7474. In Texas, call 800-292-5437. Frank Lewis, Farmer, 175 North Tower Road, Alamo, Texas, 78516. There's a picture in this of Frank, and it says, "Here I am holding the 4 Royal Ruby Reds I want to send you, free for answering this advertisement." There's another picture of Frank in the yard picking the grapefruit, in the grove picking the grapefruit. This is a picture of the actual harvest of this season's first Ruby Reds.